Welcome to Module 3, setting up your KDP account. This will be pretty straightforward, so let's hop in to KDP. So you can get this understanding really quickly. Okay, so KDP is Kindle Direct Publishing. That is under Amazon. And so it's pretty straightforward. When you get in, you'll have you can sign up for it with your Amazon account. And so you'll just log in with that same information. And under the account section, once you hop in, you'll set up your name, your address, and your banking details so you can get paid. And so under that, you can also, if you want to go in under a business name, or under, say you are having like a publishing company, you would go under your LLC, or under your sole proprietorship. And so that's determined by you. And you would then put in either your personal bank account, depending on how you're doing that, or your business bank account. And you'll detail all those things. And then you put in your banking information so that the funds from your books will go to the account that you specify. And so I'm obviously avoiding showing you my account area because that's my account area. And so it's pretty straightforward. I can find a quick image so that you can see what the back end looks like. See, this is the getting paid part. Oh, well, we don't want to do that. I can't make that big. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. You just hop in there, add all your details and your personal information, and your account will be set up. And they'll verify you, and then you'll go over and let's look at your bookshelf. Okay. And so you'll have your bookshelf set up, your reports, community, and marketing. And over in the marketing section, you'll be able to do ads and use keywords to target your customers for your book ads. And the community, you can ask questions over here and just get more details. About publishing. You see, you have all your featured topics and questions, your support forum, anything you want to know. You can post a question if it's not available, and you can get all the information that you might be looking for. That's specific to Kindle publishing and their other featured applications or campaigns like Kindle Vella and the like. And you can find out everything. You see, how do I reformat my PDF or Word 6x9, ISBNs, that's another thing. Are books being shadow banned by Amazon? Customer buying problem, phone number help, children's books, and all these questions. Let's just go in just to see what they're saying. And so you can see how you would use the KDP community for yourself. So their question is, hello all, I am new to this side of Amazon. I'm curious to know if we are allowed to talk about our books here. If so, I'm interested in your opinion of my current children's books. Please let me know what you think, as I'm a first-time publisher and eager outside critic. Okay, so AI covers are an instant no. So no AI covers. I'm not sure. I guess they're just jumping in. The AI has done some odd things to all the children's hands, feet, and eyes. I wouldn't purchase those books in that state, unfortunately. I'm not sure. Oh, I guess she gave her a book link, and that's what they're talking about. Because you can tell it's an AI cover. AI covers are obvious. See, and I agree. You can tell an AI cover from a different cover. I don't think it's always bad to use AI covers, but I do think it goes further to design your cover or have someone design your cover. And so for things like this, you can use KDP to really get an understanding or a lay of the land with regards to what expectations KDP has of you, what other authors think, and you can get that support there. And so, you see, welcome to Kindle KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing community. You'll find both new and accomplished authors and publishers who are very knowledgeable about self-publishing with KDP and whose titles are currently selling in Amazon's Kindle store. And so, definitely you want to go here, educate yourself through the support form and the education form, and also use the other resources. And then you just get an idea of what's gonna work for you, what won't, and never feel like any question is a bad question. If you have a question, ask. It's the only way you'll get an answer. And so definitely use this section of the community for questions that you might have. Reports is going to be where you see all your royalties broken down by months, by year, I think in 24-hour increments as well. And you'll see everything, how your books are performing there. And so the bookshelf is where you will obviously load your books, and we will do this towards the end of the module or the course, where we'll go back in and we'll do a full upload with a book description, so that you can see exactly how you do it. And so this is a better plan right here that's live in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. You won't see the audiobook stuff here. We'll talk about that in another module because it's not on this platform. But one thing that Amazon does is that when you don't purchase an ISBN, this is where you get your ISBNs. By the way, I want to show you the difference. Booker is usually, I think they're pretty much the monopoly on ISBNs at this point. And so, I'm not sure. I think they have a separate website. That's not it. So, this is where you want, if you want your own ISBN and you don't want your ISBN through Amazon, you want to go over here. ISBNs help your books get discovered. An ISBN ensures your book's information will be stored in the books and print database, which is consulted by publishers, retailers, and libraries around the world. And so, if I'm not mistaken, you need an ISBN. Like, say you wanna push your paperback into bookstores, you need an ISBN. I don't think you can do that with an AISN, which comes from Amazon. Now, on the other hand, with the audiobook, you can push your audiobook into libraries, and you don't need to be concerned about this portion that we normally would apply to a book, in a paperback book. And so, ISBNs right here, like, you get good value for the ISBNs. I just think it's like, I don't like it because I feel like it's kind of pricey. Like, if you were to just buy one, $125 is crazy. But when you break it down for 10, depending on what your goals are, and again, what you can afford, this is probably the best option so that you can, you're not limited to where your book can go and how it can, get there. Books in print is consulted by publishers, retailers, and libraries. ISBN conveys no legal or copyright protection. However, the use of ISBNs for publication is prescribed by law in some countries. It improves the likelihood of your book being found and purchased. Okay, so My Identifiers is a broker publishing service where you can get your ISBNs if you do not want to simply rely on Amazon, because through Amazon you'll get the free ASIN, and so that's what this is right here. That's applied to any book in any format that you publish on ebook, paperback, and hardcover. As far as your Audible books, those are through another Amazon platform, but it's not on this part. And so, but we're focusing on Findaway Voices, which is through Spotify. And so here you'll promote you have the option to promote and advertise. When you click over on these three bubbles, let's go for the paperback. I'm not going to click these because I don't want to disrupt anything I've already put up here. You'll have your book details, such as the genre. You have your book content. Well, you'll have like your description and all of these important things. We're going to do this, but we won't do it with this book in this module. And then you can edit your print book pricing, and we'll go through that, so you'll be able to see how much certain things are. It'll show you what your royalties will be depending on what you price your book at. And then you can request your printed proofs once your book is ready. And then once you've done this, you've gone live, you can order your author copies, which are going to be at a deep discount. And then you have your promotion and advertising down here. And at any time, you're able to unpublish or unlink your books. And something that I do like is that, say you need to publish or you need to do an edit on one of your book will stay live and you'll do your edit. So your book will never leave the platform unless you unpublish it. But while you edit your book will remain live, and then once you've published your updates, those updates will you'll get an email that your updates were received and now they apply. And so now, like from the day that you get that successful, okay, your book has been reviewed and accepted again with your edits, you then know that whatever a person is publishing from that day forward has the edits in it. It's the edited version of your book. And so also, again, through here, you'll add your cover and all those other important details. And all of these are going to be different based upon the kind of format. So your paperback book, the sizing will be different here than for your hardcover. And so if you're going to have your book in multiple formats, just know that you'll have to format your cover to fit each of the specifications that we went over that were in the book cover calculator. So just be mindful of that as well. And so I have a couple books up here. This is my first full fiction, my first full nonfiction title. And this is my first my first Christian, my full-length Christian book also. So these are different. This is my poetry, which I've talked about. Like, I've published poetry books before, and so I have one up here. That's the kind of writing that I was used to, and like I hadn't done full-on prose publishing, so this was different for me, which is what I had to overcome in order to get to that close to like 50,000 words that I didn't think I would write, but to God be the glory, right? And this is a really old book, Salted Paper Hearts. It's live. See, look, it's from 2014. It's live, in Kindle ebook, but I drafted the paperback. And so, and then this was something I did through a course where they want you to kind of overcome your fear and just jump in and do a mini book. And so it's something that's really quick to write so that you can see that you are able to do it. I actually recommend people doing this, like finding a topic. It was very much more detailed than what I'm about to tell you, but like finding a topic, breaking that down, treating it as if you were doing your book, but you just it's a short, 20 pages. It might even be less than that. And then use it as a freebie for your website. So it doesn't waste. And so it actually gets used for something. And so I think it's a good way to like show yourself that you're capable. And it kind of just builds momentum. And that was like the point of this writing, was to build momentum. And so I didn't waste it. I put it online. It's there. It exists. Whether or not anybody actually read it, who knows? But we know that this book is 100% being read. The testimonies have been beautiful, and I just give God glory for getting it into the earth, because if it had not been for the Lord on my side, that book would still be by my side and not on KDP. And so we'll dive in a little bit more, but I want to just give you guys a back end, kind of like a little tour. And you know what? They do talk about the ASIN, and here it says free ISBNs. Let's see what this is. And just in case there were more questions, Amazon terms their International Standard Book Number as a free ISBN, and that's what it is. But it's not the same as an ISBN, because it goes by a different name, and it's on the Amazon platform. And so an ISBN is a unique number that is assigned to every published book. It identifies the edition, the publisher, the physical properties like trim size, page count, and binding type. It allows retailers, libraries, and distributors to efficiently search for books. On KDP, you do not need an ISBN to publish an ebook, but you need an ISBN to publish a paperback or a hardcover. For paperbacks and hardcover books, KDP can provide you with a free ISBN, or you can purchase an ISBN from multiple sources on the web, including Broker. And so, let me verify something. I did make a statement earlier that your book would be prohibited from being sourced by libraries. And I want to verify if that's the case. Okay, so I stand corrected, because I do everything mostly expanded distribution, and so because it's expanded, your book, it looks like it's not going to be hampered if it has an ASIN and not an ISBN. Let's go specific. Okay, so it appears as though, now this is somebody from Canada, but it appears as though your book won't be hampered from being purchased by libraries if you use expanded distribution and it's using a free ISBN from Amazon and not one that you purchased on your own, because it goes into Ingram, and Ingram is what libraries use to purchase their books from. So according to what we see here, it shouldn't be a problem. Into ASN, let me see. I just want to double check because I want to make sure we are sure on this. Okay, so apparently it's not gonna be of harm. Your books will still be purchasable by libraries. It'll just be difficult because they won't be able to find it with an ASIN. It has to be by an ISBN. And so what I intend to do though is, because I came across an opportunity, and I'm going to email the library and find out personally, and this will at least apply to people in America, if they can still purchase books with ASINs that were published under expanded distribution for Amazon. So I'm gonna find that out, and then on my next video, as I introduce module 4, I'll make mention of what I found out, so that if you are seeking to get into libraries, you have that option and you have that information, and you know whether or not you'll be limited. So you'll plan to purchase an ISBN from Boker, or just go with the free ASIN from Amazon to keep your budget low but still have the ability to reach your audience. So before we hop into module 4, I want to revisit something. I mentioned I would do two things. Well, one thing first. I mentioned that I would reach out to the local library over here to find out how they source books that have an Amazon free ISBN. And it was confirmed for me by one of the librarians that they source from Ingram. So when you do a expanded distribution, which we will go over, when you do we'll go over this later once we get to the point where we're gonna upload the cover in a later module. But I will point out what the expanded distribution is. But they use expanded distribution, and through Ingram, which is also connected, through that option in KDP, they source books by ISBN. And so because your book, if you don't purchase an ISBN like we discussed earlier, will have an AISN, it won't be searchable on Ingram. But the librarian said you can fill out a form and you can donate a copy of your book. If it's accepted, I haven't actually clicked on the form to see what the parameters are, but it's going to be a county by county, state by state type of situation. So the option is there for you to donate your book, and if the library accepts it, have your book appear on the shelves at your local library, which I thought was an awesome win, because you just never know who needs your book, especially as a Christian author. And so I think it's a beautiful thing to pray about, to seek the Lord about, and to just go take territory in Jesus' name, so that, anybody could walk into the library, be just perusing, have no necessary, no title in mind, and here's your book on the shelf. And they're drawn to it, because how many the Holy Spirit will draw a person? If we're lifting him up, he will draw all men unto himself, he said. And so that includes your book on the cover, on the shelf at the library. Because even when I visited my local library recently, I was looking for a couple titles, but I was open, because I was like, oh, I want something fiction, because when I feel like I'm going through some points where my writing needs to be stretched, and I need to get colorful and stuff, I'll read fiction. And so I found this random Christian fiction book, and it was set up to where the cover was facing the the reader, so I could see it, and I picked it up and I was like, oh cool, I'll read this. Boom. And I started reading it. And so I appreciate that she said, they don't normally, and they usually will not, get a book from, a self-published book with an AISN on it. But you can absolutely entreat your local library to find out how you can donate. And so this is for the state of Georgia. And so my assumption is that all the counties in Georgia will operate similarly. You fill out the form. They determine if your book is right for their location, based upon a number of things. Like, for instance, they're doing a local author fair right now, and some of the parameters is is it well written? Is it grammatically correct? All these things that would make sense for what you would want, a good stable book to read, not something that's also, is the cover, is it a good cover, does it have a professional appearance, and so they look at those things as well. And so that brings me to this screen here. Take advantage of the most well-known book distributor, and that's what we've been talking about, Amazon, right? It's got a built-in audience. And so I said, it's folly for a writer today to overlook them for any reason. Because sometimes we're like, oh, I just want to have my books on my own website. That's good, you should. But also, you want to have them on Amazon because of the masses. They come to Amazon for books. And so your book has an opportunity to reach a global marketplace. Literally, you get readers from around the world. Japan, Australia, you know what I mean? The UK. So if you play your cards right, these cards, the cover, your book cover, using keywords in your title and reviews. You're going to want reviews. Okay? And so let me go over to Amazon and show you as an example how you can use keywords in your book, but also through. Okay, now this is a software I bought some years ago. Okay, let me use a better. I'm trying to. I want to use the. Okay. Okay, so let me think for a moment because I want to find a good keyword. But this is a software I purchased a long time ago, and you don't necessarily need this software. So this software is what is the AMZ suggestions, is what's coming up to show you what's searched for. But I'm gonna go incognito, so it's not this is not on. I think it won't be on. Let me find out. Let's find out together. Incognito. Okay, let's go to Amazon. Really? I have to put all this in? I didn't know they were doing this. Alright, let's look. So this is how you would use okay, so it's still showing up, the search results. Okay, I want to turn it off because I want to. Alright, let's look up. Okay, so, alright, say you're going to write a book about how to self-publish on Amazon. When you start typing in your prospective book title, you're using the keywords that your readers are likely to type in. Same as what you do on Google. When you're about to write a blog post, you're gonna type in your topic that you intend to write about, and it's gonna suggest to you what your reader is already searching for. And so that's what you want to use in your book cover. I mean, in your book title, especially as a writer, as a self-published author, because you want to help people find you with ease. And so part of that is also, and this may or may not apply depending on whether or not you already have people, you have an engaged audience, where you'll really want to use keywords. When you are well known, you don't have to adhere so much to that rule because you already have the audience, and so they already want to read your work. You know, they don't need help. You don't need help building your audience in that way because they're already following you and already engaged with your content. And so, for example, you want to write, again, the how do I self-publish my book on Amazon? And so you want to use similar language for your book cover because this is what people are searching for. How do I self-publish my book on Amazon? Okay, so you would use some version of that. And that'll be your book cover. That'll be on your book cover, and it'll be listed, obviously when you upload in the back end on KDP. Here's another one: how to sell books on Amazon. You could use this as a kind of title. You would just rework it to make it kind of fit along the lines of what you're doing, but also to make it easy for people to search for your book. And so that's how you'll utilize keywords. You can do this for anything. And you might notice when I did put in let's see. Okay, so freedom from homosexuality. This might be okay. So unhealthy relationships from slavery to freedom. This kind of idea. I don't know how much people are really searching for this. Let me see. Seems like people were more so searching for homosexuality in animals, which is all right. But that I wanted to find how useful it is to use. Okay, so when you go to Kindle store, because you might have an ebook instead, homosexuality and the Christian. That's actually a really good direction to go for your title. Like for me, if I was gonna write another book about being free from homosexuality, homosexuality and the Christian might be a direction to go with my title. You know, homosexuality in the Bible, homosexuality in the Bible. These kinds of titles are things that people are information is what people are already searching for, and so these would be most useful for me in using them in my keywords because people are already searching for them. And so I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys how to use the Kindle store search and the book search. And so you'll do that with anything. And if you have a title that's not fitting with this, and you're not seeing any search results, you want to rework it and rework it and rework it, unless you already have like an audience or you just feel led by the Lord to do your title the way that you're going to do it, and God will draw the people, you know. But you still, here's wisdom, you know, because even my book, A Better Plan, for the most part, it's not, there's nothing here, you know. And so I kind of went very off the cuff. I just felt led to write my title the way that I did, and it's got this is what, like, this is the main word that's in my book, gay girl. And so potentially my book would pop up. I don't know. I actually haven't tried. I know that obviously Jackie Hill Perry's book is going to pop up, but the main keyword that people search for that is in my book title and the subtitle is that gay girl. So mine probably wouldn't even, it'd probably be somewhere down at the bottom. But for the sake of what kind of titles are showing up here, we're going to come out of this because, yeah, we're not promoting being gay. But exactly the opposite, that God is freeing people from the homosexual lifestyle. And so let's just come out of that. And again, my book is an example of what you would be taking a chance if you decided to just kind of go with what you go with not using keywords that people are searching for. It's a risk. And you know, in my case, I really just strongly felt like that is what I should title the book, and my subtitle is what I felt like it should be, just to show it. And so here's the second thing that I want to kind of stress as well is the and see, I mean, these things help too. Depressed, suicidal, gay, like, look, gay girl, like, these could draw somebody to the book nonetheless, right? And so the other piece is you want to make sure that you get reviews. You want to get reviews. You want to find creative ways to get people to leave reviews on your book. You want to make it easy. Sometimes you can, you know, create just a card with a QR code that somebody can just simply scan and it'll pull them right to your review page so that they can easily leave a review. You want to get social proof. Request images, request videos of people reading your book, receiving your book, unboxing your book. And this stuff is really good for pushing your book and making it visible. And so you want to get as many reviews as possible. Right now I have 5. I need to start kind of pushing on some people who have the paperback version of the book or the Kindle, and start to, at request, hey, can you guys make sure that you review the book? And for however I decide to like phrase it, and just make it easy, and just send them the link so they can hop on and leave that review. And so I think I answered all those questions from the previous module, and so we will just go over to the next mod.